Welcome to Australia and congrats on the movie. It's
Thank
amazing.
you. Yes.
And making a shit ton of cash, which is good.
Hey, man, you know, we ain't gonna get none of it, but
I was going to say, I was reading that Cube, you gave some acting advice to O'Shea Jr., which was, don't make me frown all the time. Is that right? Was that your advice?
That was my advice. You know, don't make me frown all the time, and the best acting is not acting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you have to check your scowling and make sure you weren't,
I knew whoever they got, the scowl was not going to be like mine. The scowl was under control. You know, that's down pat. It's about, making it real, making him, because I know that people are going to take this movie as law. You know, they're going to take this as what happened, and I can't have people see my father in any other light besides the one I see him in.
Yeah. And Cube, in terms of developing the film, your memory of events, were they kind of hazy or quite clear from back then? Like, how were some things you remembered well and others not?
I mean, I remembered, my version of things pretty well, but, when you start talking to people and, things start to, you jar each other's memory and open things up. And that was the funnest part of doing this movie is, like, figuring out what can go in and what can't, what should go in and what shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it was like a hard decision because you look up and there's just so many stories to tell.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we had way too much story.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out what is the movie, we're trying to tell, So it just was just stacked full of so many different ideas.
Yeah, maybe you could have done Australia Outta Compton TV series.
Man, it could have been a mini series, like Roots or something. You know what I mean? It could have been like 9 days straight.
Yeah. And with Dre, did you guys like argue a lot about this is how it was or this is how I remember it? Was there kind of like conflicts of
Yeah, a little bit, because we wanted to get it right, Dre said, man, I don't remember it that way. Yeah, man, it happened that way. So it's like, a few different times we got on the phone and it was like, man, why is this in there? And you have to jar somebody's memory. And so, that's the hard part of making a movie like this is you can't make nothing up. You have to, remember that truth and stick to it and some things fit and some things don't, so I think we just did a great job in finding, what the movie needed to be.
And do you think that, obviously N.W.A had a massive impact when they were out. Do you think it's possible for a rap group today to have the same kind of impact that the group had back then?
Of course.
Yeah.
With the right song, with the right push, with the right flavor. The thing is, it's like it's not a lot of groups coming out no more. Everybody's an individual, so you don't have that dynamic. So it's hard to get that. I think like the last dynamic group like that is like Wu-Tang, in a way. So you have to, for one thing, be a group and have some extremely talented people, all together. And you can definitely change things,
Yeah, it seems like it's only every few decades a group like N.W.A or Nirvana will come along and kind of like change the whole landscape, and then it might be another couple of decades before it happens again. So
yeah, because then you have so many clones, after somebody breaks through like that, everybody wants to come through the same door.
Yeah.
And it's fine because that lets you know that, you're an innovator. And, you got a group with Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E in it. We definitely should be, making noise. Some extremely talented people in one group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know that you appeared on Dre's new album. Do you think there's any chance that there might be like a somewhat N.W.A reunion and more music from you guys anywhere down the track?
I don't know. That's a Dr. Dre question.
Right.
Because it hinges on his music and his production. So if he's not feeling it, he's not going to do it. If he feels it, he'll do it. And you never know, you never know what the future may hold.
Yeah. And O'Shea, now that you're in a big film, are you starting to get a bit of a taste of the fame that you think your dad might have got back in the day?
It's a little bit more controlled.
That's a very diplomatic way of putting it.
It's a little, it's a little different, but he's really just tried to keep me level-headed. I've been around cameras and all this before, being his son, so he's really been pushing the, your Klay Thompson, your Steph Curry, your Kobe. Your dad was in the league before. You've been around this. This is your comfort zone. So yeah. I'm just enjoying the ride.
Those are American basketball players.
Who they know
who the hell he's talking about.
They know.
Yeah. How do you think you would have handled it? Like if you were in your dad's shoes back then, how do you think you would have handled things?
Similar.
Right.
Similar.
Right.
My father's always made sure that what's between my ears is the sharpest. And so, you gotta just make sure you handle yourself in the right way.
And now that this is like, I guess, a big hit, are there other hip hop biopics that you guys would like to see? Like, what groups or rappers do you think would make a good biopic?
I would love to see the story of, Sugar Hill. You know what I mean? Where it all started. I mean, the record company. Not just the group, but the record company, Sugar Hill Record Company. Love to see, something on Tupac, even Death Row, it'd be a dope biopic. Those are great. Wu-Tang, be another cool one.
I would love to see the 2 Live Crew.
That's what I was thinking of myself, yeah.
I think all guys want to see that. And I don't even know if they care about what the story is. I just want to see it.
I just want to see the 2 Live Crew.
I want to see that too. But there are parallels because they fought, freedom of speech in much the same way as you guys did around the same time. So there's that going on as well.
Yeah, Luke was he was a champion for all of us, because they were trying to censor everybody, and he took it all the way to the Supreme Court. So, I always look up to Luke for that, for fighting and not laying down. And they arrested him. They arrested him on stage. They arrested people for selling his records. So. It was a real fight he was in, and he took it all the way to the top court in the United States.
Yeah, it's an amazing story.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we've got, guys. So thanks for your time.
And, no problem. I like that hat too.
I was about to say,
thanks.